The small town of Millbrook had never seen such a puzzling crime. In the local museum, the famous golden crown of King Edward I had vanished overnight. No broken windows, no forced locks, and no signs of entry. The security cameras showed nothing unusual. Detective Inspector James Walker stood in the empty display case room, scratching his head. The alarm system had not been triggered. The night guard had done his regular rounds. Everything seemed normal, except for the missing crown, worth millions. "Most interesting," said a quiet voice behind him. Father Brown, the local parish priest, stood there in his black clothes and round hat. His face was kind, but his eyes were sharp. "Father Brown, this is a crime scene," Walker said with a frown. "Yes, indeed. And a rather clever one," the priest replied, looking at the empty glass case. "Have you noticed the dust?" Walker looked closer. The glass case was spotlessly clean. "What dust?" "Exactly," Father Brown smiled. "Every other display case has a thin layer of dust. This one is too clean." Walker's eyes widened. He hadn't noticed this detail. The priest walked around the room slowly, his hands behind his back. "The crown was here yesterday afternoon. I saw it myself during the school tour. Miss Helen Rogers, the new curator, was showing it to the children." "Miss Rogers?" Walker asked. "She's been here only 2 months." "Yes, and she's very knowledgeable about medieval history, particularly about cleaning old artifacts." Father Brown picked up a small bottle from the cleaning supplies shelf. "This is a special solution for cleaning ancient gold." Walker called his team. They found fingerprints on the bottle matching Helen Rogers. When they went to her house, they discovered she had left town. But Father Brown had one more surprise. "You might want to check the basement storage room," he suggested. "The one where they keep old display cases." In the dusty basement, behind some boxes, they found the crown. It was a perfect replica, made of painted plastic. The real crown had been slowly cleaned and removed over several days, replaced with the fake one. Miss Rogers had been planning this for weeks. "But how did you know?" Walker asked Father Brown. "Simple observation," the priest replied. "During the school tour, I noticed the crown's color was slightly different from the photograph next to it, and Miss Rogers was too careful about cleaning that specific display case every day." "The wisdom is in the details, Inspector." 2 days later, they caught Helen Rogers at the airport with the real crown hidden in her luggage. She had been working with an international art theft ring, using her position as curator to steal valuable artifacts. "The perfect crime isn't about complex plans," Father Brown told Walker later. "It's about patience and careful preparation. But even the most patient criminals make small mistakes. They forget that truth, like dust, always settles in the end." Walker smiled. "I suppose that's why they call it the wisdom of Father Brown." The priest adjusted his hat and walked away quietly, leaving the inspector to wonder how many other crimes this humble parish priest had solved with his remarkable powers of observation and understanding of human nature. News of Father Brown's clever deduction spread through Millbrook. The museum improved its security system, and the golden crown was safely displayed again. But more importantly, the town learned that wisdom often comes in unexpected forms, sometimes wearing a simple black cassock and a round hat. And Father Brown? He went back to his parish duties, reading his books and tending to his flock. But he kept his eyes open, knowing that in this small town, like anywhere else, human nature would always provide new mysteries to solve.